so that I could get someone over here to point a camera at this, because I'm sure that you guys want to know the answer as badly as I do. And if I'm going to lose a bunch of server equipment, well, I might as well at least help pay for it with this message from our sponsor. So there's definitely going to be a follow-up where I hear from some of you folks, I go back to the manufacturer, we figure out exactly what's going on, and we rebuild this mess. But I'd say this is about the best outcome I could have possibly hoped for. Just like I couldn't hope for a better sponsor than our sponsor. And number 3, I want to significantly quiet down my computer without harming performance or resorting to exotic measures like sticking it in another room. I just hope I bought enough wood units to complete both our project and this Segue to our sponsor. And to do a fudge test, you totally can do that, we could have done that. But technically you're supposed to be like a meter away. So in a nutshell, it's way quieter, and thanks for watching, and check out this message from our sponsor, right?
No.
Oh, good Lord. We've still got to decide which of these numerous laptops we're going to be using for a month. And it's not going to be easy since there isn't a single bad one in front of us or behind us. So many options. To tell you about our sponsor. And I get their like new rusted out cool design. I'm sure that
it's called case hardened. Shill better Linus.
Oh my God, what is this stuff?
Do you have options?
I guess. Oh no, I get a top and a bottom. I'm settled. And I'm settled on telling you about our sponsor. I actually think the more interesting question is whether Team Red can slay themselves, or whether you should just skip this launch until they inevitably come out with an X3D variant of these ships that is so strong it makes me forget to segue to our sponsor. Huge move, and I don't think anybody knows what that's going to mean for gaming performance as they go to a purely big little architecture. Just like nobody knows what on earth would happen if I didn't segue to today's sponsor. I'm going to help David auction this entire collection, so stay tuned for more details on how you can be the proud owner of some of this.
It's good!
Just like you can be the proud owner of this Segue to our sponsor. So look forward to seeing this stuff at the auction so you can help fund David's move into his new place.
Yeah! New place.
I'm sorry, David. And I'm sorry to tell you about our sponsor. Who knows, if you have a tech-savvy nephew or something, you might even get them to watch along and set it up for you. It truly is very convenient. Of course, as you know, creating video costs money though, so I can't tell your nephew anymore until we get through this message from our sponsor. That stuff is dead on streaming platforms. I mean, yeah, some studios still produce short making of documentaries about their films that autoplay as the credits roll, but they almost never feel as raw and plain awesome as the old ones, or as awesome as this Segue to our sponsor.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, I bet you could buy a regular RTX 4090 and all of that stuff and still have cash to spare.
Okay, but where will I get the money?
Well, here.
Life can suck sometimes, but with the right attitude and tools, you can fix it.
A quarter of their value if you're lucky on a CPU and basically nothing for GPU. With all that in mind then, would you do it again? Yeah, it sounds about right. But would you tell the people about our sponsor? Is that something people are asking for? And what are we giving up in return? Also, are there any fun, creative ways we could use this technology? Not sure, a few things, and yes. But before I tell you about them, Elijah needs to tell you about
Our sponsor.
Hey, there you are.
But if you don't want to wait, there's actually tons of videos online showing people building these speakers for themselves, including this one guy who actually made it look like a little gun to point at a target. I don't know, it's kind of cute. Just like this cute segue to our sponsor.
Crappy vendor skins? That's the good Android now. And stock Android? It's a broken mess. And wait. Before you shoot the messenger, give me a chance to explain. And a chance to tell you about our sponsor. I still don't have a new phone. So you know what? F it. I'm getting an iPhone.
Yes, finally.
But man, they're expensive. How am I gonna afford one? Maybe with some help from our sponsor. Then I will judge the quality of their craftsmanship, drag race the PCs, and at the end, maybe even meet our builders in person. Talk to them. That is, unless they scam me. Oh, hey, that's one of them now. Yeah, Radeon 7600? That sounds good. But do you also have Segue to our sponsor? So if you want to try your luck, hey, it might not be the stupidest thing in the world. And you might get super lucky and find someone like Keaton who just loves helping people. Or you might even find this Segue to our sponsor. Boop, 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 and boop. 1,500 watts, no problem, baby. Efficiency 87%. I don't know if that's good, but it's good enough for me, and it's good enough to tell you.
Why would I be working if I could be driving Hennessy's brand new Velociraptor in Salt Lake City?
Shut up! We're also going to include some honorable mentions to give you guys a good starting point, whether you're looking for a thin and light or a mobile workstation. I'm also going to be mentioning today's sponsor.
And many manufacturers these days leave off USB-A ports, SD card readers, and even headphone jacks in the name of a little bit of weight savings. I'm looking at you, Dell. And I'm also looking at our sponsor.
We are finally going to be looking not just at the 3050 6 gig, but we're also going to be putting a spotlight on the many times in the past that NVIDIA has pulled this dirty move, stretching all the way back to the beginning. And we're also going to put a spotlight on our sponsor. Then what the ever-loving bum does it mean? As of 2024, it seems like it just means you pay us this much, and if you're not obsessed with tech news, you'll get, well, whatever you get. Oh, hey, I got a message from our sponsor. But how exactly is this being used by nefarious and law-abiding people alike? Should it be banned? And what would that even look like? Well, we have some ideas, just like we have some ideas on how to segue to our sponsor. So I think the focus should be on the big automakers and how they manage to fail so hard, and on the organized crime networks that are engaging in these practices at scale, rather than on the makers of software-defined radio devices. And the focus should be on our sponsor. But there has been one thing stressing me out.
I just want to get my work done.
I was worried we might not have enough content to talk about, but now that's solved too.
Sponsor Segues.
Excellent if everything you do is in a browser, or if you already have another computer for the work that you need to do on another computer. And hopefully someday it'll be for everyone, like this Segue to our sponsor. I'm just gonna mosey on over to Newegg and round up the best rated parts and see if the herd mentality steers me wrong or lands me knee deep in manure. But first, I gotta rustle up a Segue to our sponsor. Online reviews still largely serve their purpose. You just might have to sift a little bit and do some research to really find the absolute best bang for your buck. Oh, and make sure to shop around, because you never know when you might find a deal somewhere, or free shipping, or a segue to today's sponsor.